Hey guys, my name is Loveless, and we are back with this. Seduce Me. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's been such a long time. It's all because of school and like so much homework. So it's like I'm gonna make it up. So don't worry. Okay, back to this. My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It had been a couple of days, but living away from the one who raised me was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit. Because it's fabulous.
Gorgeous. You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
I looked at my dad, who looked around the lobby like an inspector. I stood my ground, waiting for him to look at me. When he did, he let a small smile grace his lips.
Your mother's right. You look like you're all grown up.
She really does. The world around me stopped as my heart pounded in my chest. Did my dad just compliment me? On its own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear to hear at his words. I was beyond speechless. Thank you, Daddy. However, his cold face quickly returned to, he began looking around again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
Yeah, make her have a heart attack, why don't you? My potential?
To become CEO of the company.
I knew it. Something was off about tonight. And now this party has become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked at the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants, quote unquote, for my father's approval. I looked beyond and saw Naomi, and Suzu raising their thumbs at me for encouragement. I let a small breath before I feel my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden the main hall was filled with guests, men and women in formal or business attire, showing up to meet me and my new home. I didn't expect so many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook hands with many officials and executives. I know I'm saying it wrong. Members, putting on the professional face that my dad trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and handshakes. Many asked me questions. I tried my best to reply and maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want you to hear, not what you want to say.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
Ah, crap. It's been pretty good, actually. It's been quite difficult. You don't say that. It's been okay. Yes,
I'm so sorry about your grandfather passing away.
Shit.
It really hit all of us hard.
I messed up.
Do you have college plans?
Yes, I do. But I didn't know that there was a timer. I felt questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer. Some of them because that they were about me. They were about the company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
What philanthropist? What?
Do you think the company should expand from just toys?
I don't know. Okay, eventually the questions. The incubus are doing their job. Or I say incubus, but it's like depending on the gender. It's like I do know some knowledge about incubus, incubi, and incubus and incubi does not really matter because sometimes if they're like they're not always female, they're not always male, and I don't really know what type of incubi they are exactly. So it doesn't really explain, but they're more about incubi and incubuses than what is on the surface, as far as I know. It's unnerving onto thinking, but I wasn't being questioned left, right anymore. Left, right. Suddenly, my mom pushed her way through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
With my mother stood a man looking a couple of years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
Place your hand in his. I figured. As I placed my hand in his, he raised it to his lips, and yeah, I figured. And kissed over my knuckle. I felt my face burn slightly at the gesture. That's a very old-fashioned gesture.
I'm honored to be invited here.
My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why is she so excited to introduce me to Andrew?
So,
Andrew?
You organized this party very well, Miss Anderson.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh properly before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
Huh? Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
Oh, I didn't know you talked about me. That would explain why everyone's fascination with me, or rather, personal questions. I looked at Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off. I don't know what it was, but there's something hiding, whether good or bad. I was not able to find it. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving me a cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense. What?
So, you're Jared's son.
Andrew's body twitched slightly, whether it was fear or insult. Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me on how fragile the air had become, enough to break at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
Ah.
Well,
I stared at Andrew, the guy that wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO. I thought the vice should go away.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
Honestly.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot of things wrong with that.
of course not, sir.
And polite as well. Interesting.
If you'll excuse me.
Hey, you scared him away. Quickly, Andrew retreated away from the family into the crowd of people. Stay put. I watched as he disappeared into the crowd. I could have actually went on with him, but it's like, if there's something off, I have to leave it alone. But I gave him his space. He obviously needed it.
He's not CEO material.
That's because you practically interrogated the young man.
A little questioning shouldn't have bothered him. He's obviously not ready for any title in our company.
Hour. I bit my tongue. I didn't want to make a scene with my dad. One wrong word and he'd lecture me in front of everyone. That's not something that I wanted in my own housewarming party. I let all aside before I looked at the clock. It was getting close to midnight, meaning time that the party was going to end soon. I lowered my gaze out the window when I saw a limo pull up. Whose limo was that?
Oh, that must be Lewis's car.
I'll go get him. Stay with your father so you can escort your guests out together.
Yes, Mom. My mother left my dad and Sylvie. And wait, my mother left my dad and me. I shouldn't say my dad and I. It would have to be switch if you actually want to use me. let's see, to slowly escort the guests out. My dad had simply smiled and thanked each person for coming. I did the same. Andrew quickly passed through the doors before I could speak. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, and my parents and the incubi were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him, and a wave of confusion washed over my face. What?
You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Oh, thank you, Dad.
Keep it up, and you'll be a good CEO.
Oh, right.
All right. Your mother and I have to leave. I'm
Dad
sure
first.
Naomi and Suzu need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
Oh, right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party.
We'll come visit tomorrow or something.
Oops.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
Will do. All four of the remaining guests left the building, but my dad waved back at me. With last of the guests gone, I sighed at the sight of the stairs in exhaustion. Phew, that was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
But kinda did at the same time.
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
She handled herself the best she could.
Yep.
As expected, princess.
I still want to punch your face, but yeah.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
That's why you're never getting picked for any of my routes. Because you're an annoying little prick. And him too. He just like...
Hush, Sam.
Are you guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Ho ho ho! It didn't take long to find you little shits after all.
Great. Just great. I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. The voice of my dreams. Yes, that's exactly what I thought. And a panic alongside the angry by James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to calm down.
Don't worry. No one will hurt you.
Yeah, because you're the only one that if they do get hurt, they can just take some of the energy, the sexual energy, from you, and then they'll be okay. So as long as you don't die, then they won't die in the process too. Because you're kind of like the medic.
Are you sure? Are you really sure?
All of us shot our heads to the door, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. The doors quickly swung out and revealed a sight that I've never expected to see. Huh. Skin of red as blood, eyes black and gold piercing into my roughened up clothes and a pistol in hand. I saw a monster. And monster is relative. Ooh, she looks pretty. I covered my mouth, trying not to scream at the dried blood covering the bandana. I don't see it. Smirked at me and the boys around. Besides the red-skinned man, there's a similar-looking woman with a matching thug-like clothes.
Oh, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you?
I hoped you would, you piece of...
Wow, censorship punch? All of a sudden, the man raised a gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger. Shit. You have good reflexes? We all gasped at the shock and instantly expected to see a bullet run through his face. But no.
What the fuck?
What?
What should have been a headshot ended with a loud, but it was a blank shot. The pistol. Okay, I'm like, what is this music? Empty shot. The man grew more and more pissed and started pulling the trigger over and over in exaggeration. Luckily for my ears, it became quieter after the first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
This place is protected.
What did you say, Shrimp?
This place has a seal, protecting it from hellborn magic.
Oh.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Ah!
The man growled and threw his gun at Sam, who was able to dodge it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple times before sliding further away and hitting the wall and to a final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into a black flame and disappeared into the air.
The previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malix.
Malix was his name. His existence resonated in a memory from my dream I had. However, I looked to Matthew to have the same confusion as Malik did. This place is protected by magic?
It would seem that your grandfather had some sort of protective barrier around this house. From the looks of it, it only disables hellborn magic.
Malik's face grew to that of extreme anger. His fist tightening as if he was going to crush Angus. Just
what's stopping me from dragging your asses out and shooting you then?
Out on pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed myself between Malik and the boys with no power. Malik wasn't going to fight. I took the chance to stand up to him instead of being powerless like I was in the dream. Fuck off! Get out of my house. Kinda want to say fuck off.
Whoa! Who let the bitch out of her cage? What is this? A reverse harem or something?
Yes, actually. Malik's grinned at me with pure evil, then walked closer to me. Duck, run, what? I can't. Stop! I keep messing up! Okay, his eyes bored into mine as he cackled in my face.
Hey! Let her go!
Sam! Eric!
Within mere seconds, Sam had punched Malik square in the jaw, forcing him to let my hair. Like, I literally don't even see the timer thing. Hey, how am I supposed to know that there's actually a thing that I got to do? As I fumbled back, Eric caught me in his arms, gently pulling me away from Malik and backing into me.
Come on, Sam. You and me. Right here. Let's go!
Come on, asswipe!
Asswipe! Before they could fight, the woman stepped forward and placed a firm grip on Malik's shoulder.
That's enough, Malix.
What? Who do you think you're speaking to, woman?
The girl who's going to help you kill them. Just not now.
Not now?
I stared at the girl who spoke down at Malix. She looked the same, looked as pure evil. However, she seemed to be concerned for Malix or for me. No, it's for him.
There's 5 of them and 2 of us. Even if we come back with the gang, they can have the place surrounded by human police.
We shoot everyone!
Think! If we shoot everyone, we'll be hunted. And it'll be a matter of time before makeshift paladins come and try to exorcise us.
The two growled at each other if they were using their magic. I could sense the fire which glowed underneath their teeth. Malix grunted and glared at the boys. He pointed to James, wanting so badly to use his fingers like a knife.
Just wait, pretty boys. We'll get you and fuck you up real good.
Nice evil laughter. Then Malix turned to me and moved his finger to point in direction of between my eyes.
Don't think you're safe. Step outside. I dare you.
With that, Malix and the woman walked outside. Wait, but how's she gonna get to school? Okay, the doors closed behind, leaving the boys and I alone once again. I felt my knees give out under me, forcing the boys to quickly turn to catch me.
Whoa, whoa! Are you alright?
Hey, Sam's actually concerned? Yeah. Why was he here?
He's been closely tracking us. Our blood trail from the forest must have led him here.
We should have stopped him and finished it here.
For once, Matthew, I agree with you.
I stood and rubbing my arms, feeling goosebumps with Malik's left behind on me. Let's see, I couldn't stop myself from shivering in fear of his words. He was a demon.
That son of a bitch is not a demon. He's a devil.
A devil? There's a difference?
Yes. Demons come from a different plane of existence called the abyssal planes. Devils, however, come from one of the 7 circles of a place humans know as hell. Despite us not being human, we are very different creatures.
We actually have brains, for one. Devils always like to cause trouble and try to kill or torture others for their own enjoyment. Demons, like us, know when to use our powers and when not to. We're not stupid.
Devils follow orders from higher-ups in their order, and their power only comes from their connection to hell. Demons all have free wills and don't rely on where they came from to use their powers.
This is all so confusing. Demons and devil and magic all existing, and I happen to land in the middle of it? What do we do?
You're safe. You've been protected as well.
What?
What Damien's saying is that the magic that protects this place also protects you.
Your grandfather must have cast it when you last saw him or something of that nature. We can sense its aura around your body.
I can't believe it. This is like the 3rd day of surprises. This one took the cake into being the most surprising. I felt my head spin once again. How did I get myself into... What did I get myself into?
Miss, please don't worry. We'll find a way to train ourselves and become stronger to finally finish this feud.
Kick his ass right now.
Oh, good.
Until then, we'll protect you as much as we can. If Malix comes back, we'll be here for you.
Aw. What about what's going on outside? Won't he...
Like we said, you have a protection spell on you. Even if Malix attacks you, he won't be able to use his magic on you. He'd be just like any other human you can fight back against.
Didn't you say you knew Taekwondo?
Well, yeah. I felt somewhat relieved that I was mostly safe from Malik. Still, I could not help but feel very nervous and apprehensive about the future. The boys were safe here to train and become stronger. But what if Malik's did the same? True. At least I had time. I went to bed night feeling nervous. Despite the words of the incubi, I felt like a target or something to something I'd never be able to explain or prove. Magic? Devils? Demons? How did it all even happen? Should I have meddled within the situation? They're only staying until after they defeat Malix. Now, do you really want them to just leave after that? That's right. They said they will only stay until after they defeat Malix. After that, my life would go back to normal. Temporary insanity, as Kay would say. The question was then, would I want them? Like, just ask that. If my life went back to normal, would I actually care about the house all of on my own? I'd get focused on my life instead of being distracted by the boys. I'd have to. My life. Where was my life going anyway? I was under pressure from my parents with only my friends and the boys to come for me. Without the boys, I would have no way to hide from my responsibilities. Enough. Let's just sleep and deal with it tomorrow when it comes. Defeating my sense of thought, I forced myself to sleep, unsure of what tomorrow had planned for me. Hopefully, whatever the future had for me, I would be ready for it.
I promise to be with you forever. You're so important to me.
What?
I swear I'll give my life to you.
Please, let me love you.
What?
I'll be by your side, always.
Oh.
I can't imagine living without you.
What?
I want to be with you.
What?
I love you.
I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I'm very confused. Let's see. I slowly open my eyes, letting the voices of my dream echo in my head, forcing me to wake. I rub my eyes before sitting and looking at my clock. 7 a.m.? Why am I so early? I fell back to the bed, closing my eyes, trying to go back to sleep. However, something was keeping me awake. Why? It's too early to even be alive. I gave up and sat up, staring at the fireplace across from my bed. A sigh escaped from being between my lips before I threw my legs over the side of the bed. What do I do at 7 a.m. in the morning? Work on homework. I had to work on my homework. I had school tomorrow regardless of what happened in my life. At the moment, I wish school was over. Yeah, well, might as well get it done now. I reluctantly took my books out of my bag that sat on the floor and made my bed into a study picnic area. I began working through my homework. The benefits of doing your homework in the morning, not having to do it later. The downsides, mornings suck for trying to use your brain for anything educational. The formula to fix of the FC plus VC times QTC. What grade is she in exactly? I felt my brain starting to ramping up on the flow of logical knowledge, speeding up at the time I was working on the economic equations I had. It wasn't a matter of me being smart about anything when it comes to doing homework or well in class, but I had to quick to learn and easy to retain information. Oh, aren't you lucky? Well, if I had to learn about the boys this fast. Only if I could learn about the boys this fast, yeah. I stopped. Did I just compare learning about demons to learning about economics? It's 7 a.m. It's too early to be alive, and let alone make sense. I shook my head and continued working. I returned to bed, feeling the weight of morning drag me under the covers, trying to sleeping again. I had energy, but I wanted to sleep more. It was Sunday, and nothing was happening today. Come on, eyes, go back to sleep. I shut my eyes, trying to slow my breathing. I looked at my phone, checked time once again. It was noon, yet it felt like I slept for much longer. Why is time going so slowly? I sighed, got changed into normal clothes, and went to the main hall and sat at the stairs. Sundays were very boring. However, the muffled sounds of battle caught my attention. I quickly went to the backyard in response to the noise I heard. In the yard, they were all five of the boys practicing fight. Sam was in the middle with each other. Four surrounding him and throwing punches and kicking him. Sam, being the strongest of the bunch, blocked and dodged each almost masterfully. Don't disturb them. I watched the boys. I just watched. The boys were very much in their own world, focusing on training. They were all in. It's better not to disturb them. Yeah. I took the time to decided to head inside the kitchen. I was getting hungry, and I'm sure the boys would want to eat soon, so lunch was a must. Might as well make lunch today. It's been a while since I cooked. Lunch wasn't particularly hard. I decided to make chicken and rice. Gotta keep their energy. Yeah, chicken and rice, that's protein. I took the time to make almost perfect chicken breast alongside some rice. Cooking wasn't hard unless you don't know what you're doing in the first place. Yes, that's very true. I placed the food in the dining room. However, none of the boys were there by the time that I finally dished out. I carried the dishes to the main lobby, catching the boys separating into different rooms of the house. Part of me wanted part of me wanted to go to one part in particular. The other part of me wanted to just leave them be, to take the food in my hand to my room and eat. Maybe I should just go out today while the boys are focusing on training. I want something to actually happen. I should go to one of this. I got the Russian, yeah, I just wanted to actually something to happen. Hunt down one of the boys. I found James in the library, sitting in the comfy leather seat, reading a book. As I stepped in, James looked at me before closing the book and standing.
Oh, hello.
Hey James, I got some lunch for
That
you.
is very kind of you. Thank you.
James took the food and sat back down, placing the book that he was reading onto the table in front of him and setting the dish onto his lap.
I'm sorry. I should have asked you first before exploring the house and finding this room.
Oh no, you're fine. Huh. Remember, you lived here too, so any room besides mine is free to be in.
Still, you're the master of the house. I should have asked.
It's fine, really. James nodded at me to understanding smile before eating his food. I followed along and ate with him, taking the open chair beside his. We ate in silence, listening to the ambiance in the room. Soon, however, I began to feel a little restless. Kind of want to be nosy. I fell down and looked at the book until I examined it. Love and Romance, a study of intimacy. Let's see, let a small nervous cough before he stopped eating and placed his food on the table.
Demons and humans are very different when it comes to affairs of the heart. I merely wanted to try learning a little more while I had the chance. I found that while I was looking around the room and had only just begun reading.
Love is different to demons. How so? James smiled before crossing his legs, getting comfy for the small lecture he was about to give.
Love isn't just a human emotion, miss. Demons like us feel them too. In fact, incubi and succubi feel emotions the most because of our link to sexual energy. However, we don't really experience love. We know of lust and passion.
But passion drives love.
For humans, yes. For demons, it fuels our need to breed and increase the strength of our lineage, as well as quells the hunger we have for sexual energy. It's very hard for us to develop feelings from passion, despite how easy it may logically seem.
You hunger for energy? I could tell I struck a nerve with James as I mentioned the word hunger. His arm twitched, obviously wanting to do something other than remain in the armrest of the chair. He continuously speaking with
Sexual energy is our natural food source and is one of two ways to keep us alive. In the abyssal planes, there are many demons to feed off of who are always willing to give their energy up, so sexual hunger is never an issue. In the human world, however, we've come to realize that getting energy is a little more difficult.
Can you just touch a human for the energy like y'all did with me?
That only gives us so much. A touch is merely a taste, while intimate sex is a banquet for us.
I see. I guess that's true. Humans weren't all about sex. We're probably a little more conservative than demons, at least. Yeah, I believe that too. It would be hard to gain sexual energy with humans without doing something to catch them in the right mood.
This is why we have a mind-altering ability to convince humans to give in to their desires. It's not 100% effective, but it gives us a better possibility to get what we need.
Yeah, you need to eat. Or this place is like the best way of actually getting fully fed is to have sex. What if you don't feed on sexual energy? What are the other ways to stay alive?
Food, typically. However, we're weak without actual sexual energy. Without sexual energy, we become less than human. We have no power nor moral consciousness. we basically start to become unfriendly.
So Sam, I kind of want to ask him. Oh, I kind of want to. I really want to. I really want to. I really want to. I really want to. Okay, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? I want to ask him. I'm gonna ask him. I knew it! Okay, James didn't reply. He simply stared at me, unable to answer the question. However, I could tell that he was. He was clutching the armrest tightly, digging his fingers into the letter. I gently leaned closer. Why are you enticing him? Oh my god! I'm being a little help. No sex, but enough to stop. It's like, oh my god. Once again, I was greeted with silence from James. He seemed very nervous and uncertain about what to do. Now that the approval was there, he was almost frozen from my touch. Softly and barely twitching at the feel of my skin against his, I could feel his hand gripping the armrest harder. A small feeling of boldness ran through my body, forcing me to cover his hands completely with my own before leaning nose to nose with James in seriousness. Alter my mind if you're concerned about me. I really do want to help you out. All of a sudden, I felt something in my mind snap and ooze with warm, fluffy feelings I felt before with Sam and Eric. I felt my body slightly heat up as James released the armrest and gently took my wrist. He gently pulled me out of the chair and onto his lap, having me straddle him with my thighs. He stared deep into my eyes, his own glowing and hunger that I never had expected to see from him.
I won't go overboard.
Looks so nice. Before I knew it, his lips were pressed hard against mine, my head being pulled to his by his hand on the back of my neck. I don't see the hand. I gently moved I gently moved my hands to his shoulder and chest, melting in his lap, and enjoyed every feeling that ran through my body. I felt hot, desperate, and in need for more than just a kiss. More than just his kiss. One of my hands slid up to his neck, into his hair as James lowered his kisses to my neck, gently groaning against my skin. I couldn't help but let out a small whimper of pleasure before reaching up to cover my mouth. I didn't want the others to hear me, and I'm positive neither did James, throwing his free hand to my lower back, pulling my body against his. I felt my energy slowly drain, causing me to cuddle closer to James' hold on me. I lowered his hands to my waist, squeezing tightly as his tongue ravaged my neck. His hand was on the back of my neck, however, gently came around and held me by the tail of my elbow. I sucked in a breath, but James didn't pull it to untie the bow. James lifted his lips from my neck and gently leaned his forehead to mine, rubbing nose to nose with me. He was gently breathing fast, self-red in the face and deep in the moment as I was.
I won't go any further if you don't want me to.
Yeek. I could feel the hold of his mind-altering spell fading away, but I still felt hot. Something told me that I wanted more, but at the same time, I wasn't sure if I truly did want to give any more. I kind of do want to keep going, because, hey! I'll just keep this train going, I guess. I opened the opportunity. I was enjoying it as much as he was. I wanted more, and I was going to let him keep going. He promised not to go far, so this wasn't far enough for me. I gently leaned in and kissed him, giving him the silent approval to keep going. I could feel him pulling onto the tail of my bow, releasing it and letting it follow his hands from around my neck. He moved the ribbon to the empty seat before gently unbuttoning my top. Oh my god! And going no longer above my stomach. Desire in my body drove me to move my sleeves of my shirt down, my arms escaping from it, letting my shirt hang over my belly. Owie! As he began rubbishing my neck, shoulders, and hot kisses, I leaned my head back to the pleasurable size, yet my lips. The pull in my body from him draining my energy had slowly immensely, almost completely stopped. However, James kept touching and kissing me. Regardless, he was full, but he was so hot that I just kept loving on my skin and on me. I couldn't even comprehend how much time we spent making out. I was lost in pleasure. I didn't care. Call it sinful, but I don't care. I loved it. His touch, his kiss, his seat. It came out as seat. I desired it beyond anything at that moment, even as he lowered his kisses down my chest to above my bra. My heart was pounding wildly on my chest. Something about James drew me to him like a moth to a flame. I didn't know if it was the aura of superiority or his gentle smile, but something in my heart clicking for him. It couldn't have been love, but it certainly was too passionate to be lust. What was it? However, I began feeling dizzy, then that's when it's too much. Feeling dizzy, seeing the ceiling start to spin almost wildly, I gripped onto James' shoulder, trying to signal him to stop, but my mind faded to black before I could let out the sound. I felt good. I didn't care that I was blacked out. I felt warm and fuzzy. In the darkness, I never knew indulging in the kind of passion would be that good. I know now. Just waited to awaken, hopefully in a good way. My eyes eventually fluttered open, adjusting to the sight around me. I felt familiar silk underneath me, letting me know that I was in my bed. I slowly sat up, stretched from the tiredness that still lingered. I felt a very soft pain around my neck and shoulders. I could feel the swollen lip presses. He gave you hickeys. However, I knew that if I looked down at my body, I would see that my shirt has been pulled back and rebuttoned as if nothing happened between me and James. I was just missing my ribbon. Before I can turn to get out of bed, I spotted my ribbon on the pillow besides the one I slept on. It was tied into a night bow around the red rose, as if it was freshly blossomed, and a small note attached to it. I gently slipped a note from the tie and opened it to read it.
I apologize for indulging myself as I did. I hope that you will not dislike me when you awaken.
I stared at the note, unbelieved at what I read. Why would I dislike him? I let it happen. I enjoyed it. It was cute, though, and imagine him asking me for forgiveness for something we both did and enjoyed. I brought the rose to my nose and gently inhaled its soft fragrance. I indulged myself too, James. I looked at the time in curiosity of the large white numbers on my phone showing 5:31 p.m. Yikes, 4 hours of being knocked out and I'm still feel tired? It was Sunday, so I'm allowed to sleep longer if I wanted to. I remained of the nights passed by surprisingly uneventful. The boys continued to train with each other, but they were kind enough to stop and make me dinner. I was glad for that. Unsurprisingly, the food was perfect, but it was still a little empty without the boys to eat with me. The most likely I've already eaten, but I still feel lonely. I couldn't let it bother me. I ate and went back to my room and studied and sleep. Surprisingly, I felt good going back that night. I felt like I could have a peaceful sleep after the previous rough nights I had. I felt good. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here. Cause, yeah, I need to drink water or something. Yeah, yo. Okay, so if you want to see more, you know what to do.